Welcome to the first Food Label Maker product webinar. Today's session will be hosted by our tech and product leads. They've curated this webinar to show you how Food Label Maker's custom report builder lets you create fully customized technical data sheets and spec sheets from the data you already have in your account. You'll see real examples you can implement for your customers, production team, and compliance files to better understand how easy it is to build, brand, and share reports that fit your workflow.
Hi, everyone, again. First of all, thank you all for joining us today. It's really a pleasure. So, my name is Pedro Soto. I am the tech lead at Food Label Maker, and I'll be opening the session today. I'm also with Mark, our product lead, who will walk you through the actual product demo and some of real use cases in a few minutes. But just before everyone gets started and just to really get to know who we are and why we're here. So for everyone who is new to us, Food Label Maker is an AI-enabled cloud-based software platform designed to help food and supplement business. Basically, we are a regulatory compliance platform that helps teams to create nutrient labels, ingredient lists, allergen declarations, technical data sheets, and so many other things like spec sheets and compliant documents across different markets. We are working in at least 8 different markets, but in simple terms, we help food business managing product information, turning that information into documents that they actually need. So to make something that it's faster, that it's accurate, and with way less manual work. And just because we wanted to show these and to show to you how easy it is to interact, we basically had this idea of making these product webinars. So today it's our first product webinar, and we are really happy to have you all here. And you are more than welcome to interact with us, ask questions. It's really for us to get to know also how do you feel about it, and we will showcase real examples on how we can use the tool. And that is exactly the idea behind this webinar. So this should be super practical, and we want to show how what we have built so far. And for these, we have set real workflows, real use cases, and real problems that we see our clients, especially food companies, dealing with every single day. And today's topic, it's a very common one, actually. Different people need different documents, and we all know that an issue where a customer may ask for a product data sheet, but your production team, it's actually looking for something else, more a detailed formulation sheet, or a retailer may want something that it's easier to review or share internally. And basically, for you to have this idea, I have just a slide where I can basically wrap up everything that we do. And the problem is that in many teams, all of these, it's done manually. So your compliance team, your retailer, your customers, they all want different documents, but most of that it's done manually. And this is something that we see on a every single day. So people copying information from one place to another. Most of the time, they are editing words. They are seeing PDFs. They manage spreadsheets. So it's always a mess. And very quickly, that information is spread across different sources, and people tend to spend a lot of time trying to formatting, fixing, and checking documents. That's exactly the kind of problems we're trying to solve, and today it's exactly to discuss that. So we are going to focus specifically on how we can build customer reports, technical data sheets, and spec sheets. And the main idea is that you should be able to build it, to customize it, to brand it, and share it in a way that fits your workflow at your own pace, and basically creating something that is as customized as you like. Okay, so we help you to avoid these disconnected templates where you have multiple entries, multiple versions. So the idea here is if your product data already exists inside Food Label Maker, you should be able to use it in the same way, in the same simple way we are already using uh, the tool. So for that, we'll have Mark today that will guide you through this demo, and you will actually show how this works in practice. He will walk through some real life examples, and basically, we will try to see how these workflows are actually solving real life problems. Not only we simplify the way we create recipes, but also we are simplifying the way we create the reports with those recipes. Please, before I pass it over, please feel free to interact. Though this is a practical session, so we can drop questions. We want to see how do you feel about it and how we can even improve the tool. So questions are way more than welcome. And that's it on me. So I'll pass it to Mark. Mark, over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Pedro. Hello, everyone. So I'm Mark Abihanna, as Pedro said. I'm product lead at Food Label Maker. So before we dive in, I just want to also mention that there will be some polls on the chat. So please, if you can take a moment to answer as they appear, it would be a huge help. It's just for us to get a sense of the product and if there are any improvements that we need to make. So let's get into the platform. I'll share my screen. Okay. So I'm going to start by creating our recipe. I'm going to be using our new AI recipe nutrition label. This is an AI recipe parser. You can upload a document for your recipe to create it, or you can paste a recipe just as in an unformatted raw data form, and you can generate and create your recipe through this tool. I'll hit generate, and I'll slow down here just to explain what's actually going on. So now it's working on matching the ingredients that you've put in, and it's going to prioritize the custom ingredients that you have in your account. If it doesn't find matching ingredients in your account, it will pull out from our wider database, which is packed with USDA ingredients and expert verified ingredients. There you have it. It's created our recipe with the final label already generated, including all the correct rounding rules, the ingredient statement, and the allergens. So we didn't just save time on typing, we ensured the data is accurate by pulling from the best possible sources without lifting a finger. Now that our data is parsed and ready, let's take a look at how we output the data. So first of all, I'll pull up our nutrition breakdown. This view is really designed for your internal operations. It's your source of truth, giving you the full picture of all the nutritional values, ingredient breakdown, and allergen data. It's exactly what your kitchen or production team needs to see behind the curtain. But while it's perfect for your internal team, it isn't always what you want to share to a client, a retailer, or maybe a consumer. So that's usually where our recipe card comes in. So we've created this standardized recipe card. It's functional, it's quick, but because it's also a standardized format, it can feel a bit rigid. So we've realized that one size doesn't really fit all. And we've adapted to our clients' needs by creating a solution that moves away from fixed layouts and moves towards total structural customization. So I'll take you to our report builder. As you can see, we're starting with a completely empty canvas. You aren't boxed by a preset template. The first thing you'll notice is how we've structured this. So you can start by choosing your layout, whether it's a single white column or a dual column layout. You can choose to add any type of section or any type of structure to the different sections. After you've added your sections and you're happy with your structure, you can add an element. And we have multiple different elements available to you. So you can add your label. You can also add your ingredient breakdown, for example. You can add headings and paragraphs as well. And then if you're not happy with a certain section, if you want to change some elements around, you can always drag and drop and move the sections around just to give you the full flexibility. And the control goes a bit more, deeper than this. It doesn't just allow you to drag and drop. It gives you full customization through the different options available in the tabs to change the layout of the section and the different elements that appear on your page. You can also adjust the title. You can change the name for the title of the section. You can hide the title. You can hide the borders that show around the section itself. And you can play around with the margins and even with the paddings of the elements themselves. You can also resize the sections. So you can drag and drop. And we're also constantly adapting this report builder. So you'll be able soon to be able to drag and drop the elements. You can drag the elements up and down to change the heights. We will be adding those as well. And then specifically looking at the paragraph section and the heading section, you can see that we have a button here called Add Variables. What this does is when you add your recipe name in brackets, this, when it goes to the preview, it will automatically pull in the recipe name for this recipe into the report. So once you preview, it will automatically have farmhouse buttermilk biscuits. You can think of these as smart placeholders. Instead of you having to manually type in the recipe name for each report, you can use this templated string, and it will pull out the recipe name anytime you want to use this report as a template for any other recipe. So you only have to build this frame once, and then the system will fill the details correctly every time. So we're building a document very quickly, and it can match your exact brand's aesthetic as well. And the best part about this is that you can also, once you're done with building this proper structure for the report, you can save it as a template. So you can save it as your template. You can name it anything you'd like. So if you have this for a certain client, for example, then you can name it by the client name, and you can save this as a template. And then whenever you want to go to create this report for any other recipe, all you need to do is go and choose this template, and the report will automatically be built for you. So I've created some templates here, and these templates will be available soon on the application for everyone to use. But we prefer to take some feedback on the templates themselves before we release them, just to make sure we don't need to make any changes. So we customize them completely for you. I'll start first with our technical data sheet. So this is specifically for your internal R&D and quality control teams. I'll show you the report builder of each template first, and then I'll show you also a preview of the template and how it looks like. So you can see I've pulled in a recipe name as a variable, and then I've put in all the product information. This one includes every technical detail that we have. So it includes the ingredient breakdown with the statement. It includes the nutrient breakdown with the nutrition claims. It also includes the allergen breakdown with the allergens. You can also add a paragraph for the testing and verification if this is going to QA. So this report will be very useful if you're auditing a process or refining your formula. And this is a template that you can use. This is a quick preview of the template. And this is shown through a shareable link that you can share with anybody you need. It's a public link that you can share with your team. The next template I'd like to show is the product specification sheet. Our product specification sheet is designed to be your B2B powerhouse. So we've specifically designed this for retailer onboarding. When you're pitching to a new vendor or sending specs to a co-packer, they don't need all the technical data, but they do need the legal essentials. Stuff like shelf life and best before dates, packaging information and servings, possibly different label styles, the allergens, and the nutrition claims. Show you how this looks like. And this is a professional, clean, and it's usually built to get your products approved faster when you need them. The next one I'll share is the consumer shareable report. So this report we've created is meant to be shared externally. You can share it via QR code with your clients. You can choose to show or hide the logo. And you can share this QR code or add it on your packages as well. So this highlights exactly what consumers care about. It has marketing descriptions, shelf life, different characteristics, allergens, also some different labels, your front of pack format if it's available, and also claims. So this is the preview for the consumer shareable report. Your marketing teams should love this because it allows them to add more of your product information on smaller packaging as well. So to wrap it up, what we've looked at today are the different templates we've built to get you started. They cover your internal needs, your B2B partnerships, and your consumer transparency. But remember, these aren't just static templates that you just use. These are completely customizable templates, and you can customize them to fit exactly what your brand needs. And the most important part of this new system is anytime you share this link or share the preview of this report, anytime you update the recipe, it will automatically update the report as well. So there's no more sharing a PDF and worrying if you change the recipe that you'd have to share it with all your team again or all your consumers again. It will automatically be updated. If you've changed your serving size, it will automatically update. If the calories have changed, these will automatically update. You can change your ingredient statement. And this is just a small preview of all the flexibility that you can have in this report. So you don't really have to worry about version control for your recipes anymore. Now, I want to make sure that I've cleared up most of the specifics for you. I'm going to take a look at the chat. Feel free to drop in any questions you have about the parser, the custom builder, and how to use the report. I'd be happy to answer. And if you'd like to take a look at the polls as well, I can see, I'll read them out real quick. So for the templates, I can see that a lot of you like the technical data sheet. If there's anything you'd like added, changed, removed, please let us know. For the placeholders, I can see that it's mostly clear. It is a bit techy. We are working on a bit of a more visual addition for the placeholders. That will be coming soon. And I can see that most of you are, there's a major bottleneck when creating your recipes. So I'm happy that the AI recipe parser can help. I'll take a look at the questions if anyone has some. Nadine is asking, could you upload a recipe on an Excel sheet or a complete set of Excel sheets to the same Excel folder? You can definitely upload an Excel sheet. So we do allow Excel on the parser. So you can basically upload any file format. It could even be an image. If you have a screenshot of your spec sheet, that also works. You can copy paste off of Excel and directly input here if that's faster for you, and it will parse your ingredients for you. And if anyone has a spec sheet, which rarely happens, that's a bit harder to parse, you can always send it over and contact support, and we would happily work on it to make sure that it's properly parsed by our parser. Next question, Lisa. Do you have a report that compares multiple nutrition and allergen data, which could download into Excel? We don't have an exact report that compares the recipe nutrition to the nutrition data. So Lisa, I think what you're mentioning, so we do have the nutrient breakdown and the allergen breakdown separately. Are you looking at one that has all of them? If you are, this is currently not available on the tool, but it is possible to build a custom report that would have both elements in the same report. So you can have the data side by side, maybe on top of each other, to be able to see both the different sections at the same time. I hope it clears it up, Lisa. If you have another question or clarification, I'm happy to add. Multiple recipes into one report. Yes, so we do have a different report, which is called our menu label report. And our menu label report allows you to have multiple recipes in one report, and it pulls nutritional data. For the customized report builder, it's not currently available to add multiple different recipes, but it will come at a later stage. We have another question from Abby. How does the recipe card work for recipes with sub-recipes? So far, it just pulls the names of the sub-recipes and does not break out all the ingredients. So the recipe card, yes, it does show the ingredients only by name. But your nutrition breakdown will show sub-recipes and the sub-recipe ingredients on the breakdown itself. I'll quickly create a sub-recipe just to show you how it looks like. In the meantime, any other questions? Gukirat, can you add information of some regulated ingredients like ppm for nitrites, percentage of phosphate in the recipe? You currently can't add them in the report as a dynamic variable, but the variables are constantly there's a lot of additions to the variables, and we're constantly adding new variables. So this is something that we can definitely add, and I'll take a note of it as well, so we can work on it. Thanks for the suggestion. I have a question from Vanessa. Hi everyone, can the spec sheet update automatically when a recipe changes? And is there a way to track old versions? So for recipe versioning, This is coming soon, and you will be able to track multiple different versions. For your first question, if anything changes on the recipe and affects the nutritionals or the ingredient statement or the allergens, even the recipe name, the serving size, anything you've added in the report will automatically be updated as long as you're sharing the shareable link. So if I change anything in my ingredient statement, whenever somebody comes to the to the same link, they will see the newest ingredient statement of your recipe. Another question from Abby. I would like a way to see my entire recipe on 100-gram or serving or recipe basis, not the nutrition per ingredient. Is this possible? So we do have a table format, and let me know if this does answer your question. So we do have a table format that shows the per 100-gram or per serving values. In terms of specifically for ingredients, what you can do is there is a possibility to add the nutrition breakdown and hide all the nutritionals. Yeah. So I'll show you the nutrient breakdown. So you have the ability on the nutrient breakdown to show the percentages. And then if you don't want the nutrients and you just don't want the weight and the ingredient, you can choose to hide all of the, keep the weight. You can choose to hide all of the nutrients and you'll have a breakdown for the ingredients. I hope that answers your question, Abby. If there's anything a bit more specific, I can definitely help. Is there any other questions? Yes, this works for sub-recipes. It will show the sub-recipes. Do you mean you want to show the sub-recipe breakdowns as well? Currently on the custom report builder, no. It does show on the nutrition breakdown, and you can do the same exact thing that I've done. So you can choose percentage, hide the nutrients, and it will show the sub-recipes. So right here, you can show the percentage, hide all the nutrients, keep the weight, and you can open up the sub-recipes and it will show them. And you can download this report as Excel, and you can keep it with the breakdown of the ingredients in the sub-recipes. Any other questions?
Okay, cool. Thanks, Mark. And that was very good explanation. And thank you all for all the questions. That is actually why we thought about doing this type of initiatives, because besides all the webinars that we have with regulatory questions, here we can see a hands-on example how we can use the tool, and it's super good to have you making those questions. And I think by now we can see that there is value here and there is value on this specific feature. But if you see any other use cases, any other reports that you feel that it's super mandatory for you, please share with us. We're more than welcome to have you and to see what are the type of reports that you actually do, and we can always keep adding new features and new fields to the report. And if I don't know if you already ended, Mark, if you have anything to say.
No, all good, as long as there's no other questions.
Okay, I just will re-share again the intro. Okay, we have another question, Mark, for you.
For sub-recipes that have sub-recipes, we're currently not showing the 2 levels of aggregation. but it is a request that we have in our backlog, and we will be working on it soon. We will be allowing up to 3 levels of sub-recipe aggregations.
Cool. Thanks, Mark. And thanks, Abby, for the question. Yeah, basically, I think the main takeaway is simple. It's that most of us and most teams already have product data and already have a lot of data. The main issue is to know exactly how can we turn that data into the right document for the right person. And most of the time, that takes a lot of time. If you check the pool, basically most people think they are losing too many hours, and it's a major bottleneck. So there is room for improvement, and that's actually why we're here, and that's actually why we are doing this. And we trying to improve the amount of time we are doing manual work and optimizing the workflow. And actually here we have just 4 examples, but as you saw, we can build whatever we want, just exactly customize for the client's need, regulatory needs, etc., you name it. And basically, whether it's for customers, production teams, buyers, compliance, etc., I think this proves that you can build it, and we can keep adding new fields and new features into it as long as you keep sending us your ideas and your daily problems. And for sure, if you want to see more about these, if you want to have a special guidance on this report, I think it's worthwhile mention that we are always here to help. And for sure, we will have more events like this to really guide you through what is to work with our tool. And we'll be more than glad to help, to look at your use case and show how it is possible to build it. And yeah, and thanks again for your time. And if you don't have any other questions or comments, I think this is it. We wanted to keep it short for everyone to have enough time to take it in, but at the same time to see very good examples on what the things we can do with customer reports. So no questions, last opportunity, last chance. We're good. Yeah. So thanks everyone, and hope to see you soon in the next product webinar. And thanks a lot, Mark, for your walkthrough.
Thank you, everyone.